Hey, what's up guys? It's Pedro here from newcoder.com, and in this tutorial we're going to talk about the unshift and shift method for arrays. Now, the unshift and shift methods are sort of like the push and pop method covered in the previous tutorial, except that it adds and removes from the front of the array as opposed from the back of the array. So to get started, let's create an empty array. So I'm just going to say var data is assigned an array. And here I can say data.unshift. Now what unshift does is sort of like the push method. The push method adds to the back of the array. Unshift adds to the front of the array. So I'm just going to unshift 1. And let's just copy this a couple of times. So 1, 2, 3. And sort of like the push method returns the length of the array, unshift also does the same thing. So let's actually print out what the last unshift does. And this should give us a value of 3 because at this point there are 3 elements in the array. Now let's actually print out the array. So I'm just going to say console.log data. And I'm going to hit Ctrl S to save, Ctrl B, right click, Review and Explore, double click, F12, and you can see that we get the length of the array, which is 3, and then we can see what our array has. So our array at index 0 has the value of 3, and that's because unshift adds to the beginning. Since 3 was the last value added, 3 is going to be obviously the first index. Since 2 was the second to last, 2 is going to be at index 1, and you can see the value of 1 is going to be at index 2. Alright, so now let's head back to our editor, and I'm going to hit Ctrl B, and what I want to end up doing is use the shift method on our array. So I'm just going to say data.shift, and shift is going to remove the first element and return it. It's like the pop method, that the pop method removes the last element and returns it. So this is just the first element. And let's actually print out the returned element. In this case, it's going to be 3 because 3 is the at index 0. And shift is going to remove 3 from our array and is going to return the value. So this looks good to me. I'm just going to hit Ctrl S to save, head over to Chrome, hit refresh, and you can see that 3 is printed out, and that's because 3 is at index 0, so remove it and return it. Now let's head over back to the editor, and I forgot to actually print out the array. That's what I wanted to show you after I shift it. So I'm just going to hit Ctrl V, Ctrl S, head over to Chrome, hit refresh, and you can see our newly updated array that 3's has been removed and returned here. And this is what our current array looks like. And last but not least, I just want to head back to our editor one last time. I just want to show you guys that the unshift method can actually accept several arguments instead of just one argument. So I'm just going to say data.unshift. And I could just say 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is perfectly valid. And it will still return the length of the array. So I can actually print this out. And let's actually print the array itself so we can see what that code does. Ctrl S to save, head over to Chrome, hit refresh. And you can see that we have a length of 6 because 6 is how many elements we currently have. And you can see what we added to the array. So we added 1, 2, 3, 4 to the front of the array using the unshift method. And we saw that we could just use multiple arguments instead of calling it line by line like here.